This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Now a play fake, and it's gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Gone. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A third down gain of 19.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there was a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught. Smith. No gain, and it's second down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, but they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now
under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43.
He's ready weapon. He's checking crack. Ready.
On first down, Curley. Going down the middle, and it's complete. 17 there, and a New Orleans first down.
Ready. First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Let's go, defense. You're out. Jet, fight.
They'll run on first down. It's Ellis, and he works free. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them down and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game, but they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A first down carry for Smith. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. On second down, it's Smith. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They go play action here on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The quick slant caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry?
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is a defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Well, he's got some breathing room. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Saints have taken the lead. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Throwing on first down. Curley. Pass incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game. That time, unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Now a give, right side. Ellis. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Anything to make of this, or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a third.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Ito Smith, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Back to throw, Goff. They'll set up the screen to Smith, and he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Off play action. Here's Goff. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Saints to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well.
Check the backer, check the backer. Check safety, check safety.
On first down, it's Ellis. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. The throw over the middle taken in, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Curley firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Curley. That's caught inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Jared Goff, he is the focus of our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now it's gone. It's caught. Lockett. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Goff now looks to throw. Catch is made by Harry. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. It's complete to Lockett. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Again, Goff. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5, as they get ready for 2nd and goal. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on over to... You sure you're ready for the 3rd quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Curley. And that is incomplete. So good coverage there defensively, as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. A shotgun snap for Goff. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it first and goal.
Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Let's go. Hey! Yes. 3 bucks. Yeah.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up first and 10. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, what are you going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. And to give this time to the tailback. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They got a nice little drive brewing right here.
218, chop it. Get it.
On first and 10, Curley, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. Here's second and 10 now from the 29. To throw again, Curley, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. It's the correct call.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll run it again with Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do?
After reviewing the play,
this offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
I'm going back to you.
From the gun, here's Goff. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Watch the run, watch the run.
On the draw, this is Smith. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got...
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Badgley able to punch this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth. 2nd and 5. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd and 3. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
2nd and 9 now. That's caught. It's Thomas. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Ellis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. From the gun on 3rd down. Curley. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 23 yards on the play. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Out of the gun. Gone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now gone. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career.
52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52.
On first down, it's gone. Got a man open. That's Harry. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
You. Hey, Mike, 52.
Throwing again is gone. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. From 6 yards away. And the Falcons cut into that lead. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
You ain't doing nothing today.
They'll run on first down. Linder, he will push his way down to about the 14. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now a give right side. It's Ellis. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing again on second down. Goff, and he gets this one to Ridley complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Like 20. I'm trying to collect.
On first down, gone. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
It's been a long day for you.
Goff throwing again. He's got Smith here. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Now Goff on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New Orleans, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.